Hi, this is Natalie Lander, voice of Kinsey, Tara Branford, Stargirl, and many others. You are listening to a W2Mnet podcast. You can visit W2Mnet.com for other podcasts about entertainment, video games, sports, and wrestling.
Chairshot.com. Always use your head.
Konnichiwa! Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of Talk the Keki. I'm Matt, your host for the night, and this isn't a regular episode that we do weekly. This is, it's a special focusing on one series, well, the movies in particular, but we're going to talk about the series a little bit. And since my co-host has not watched the series, he is disqualified, shunned, pathetic, disgusted, pompous fucker. Anyway, joining me is from the Chairshot, a good friend of mine. I've known him for years. He's the one that got me my start. Andrew Balaz. Andrew, how you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. And yeah, we really need to get that co-host of yours caught up with some of like the classic stuff, because this is important, man. This is one of the generational animes that like help to pave the way and to mold some of the inspiration. So can he even call himself a fan without knowing this anime?
Well, that's the thing. He's like a few years into anime, like 4 to 5, I think. He started when we were kids, or
so he's still a baby. He's still on the Pokemon Digimon kind of level.
I was gonna say that's why he's my kohai. But he does get passionate, and I do respect that for stuff he does talk about. So like it's nice to see. He's like, all right, okay, well, show off the old timer, why don't you?
Damn kids, get off my anime lawn.
No, when we were doing the awards, when we were talking about the best couple, he was talking about Fruits Basket, and they went to like, oh, go ahead, tell me about yours with the the 26-year-old and the 17-year-old. Like, well, put me on the spot, why don't you?
Welcome to anime, but
no, but I got it, but. Oh God! If when you put it like that, because I haven't watched Fruits Basket, so like it probably would have been mine, but it really wasn't a lot of like big ships except for that one in terms of chemistry and how it developed. That's why I picked them.
Yeah.
That like I ship is so hard type of thing. It was just they had a good dynamic. I was like, I kind of was this spot because with Higehiro, I didn't see a couple with them. With those two, it was just more of like a big brother little sister, but with the people in Koikimo, yeah, despite the whole age difference and the message, like they still gel well together.
I mean, and not to mention one of the biggest ships in anime history is Inuyasha and Kagome, and he's like over 1,000 years old and she's 14. So like, come on.
I don't want to talk about Sesshomaru and Ren.
Oh, there we go. There's that too. I was just bringing up
Jesus
the obvious
Christ.
one.
I am so glad I dropped that sequel. Like, it did not feel like Inuyasha. Well, except for Inuyasha's daughter, but anyone else, no. That no one else. It was not the same. I didn't care about Sesshomaru's kids. Fuck the kids.
Yeah, I didn't have high hopes for it, and the fact that the buzz died down real quick, I'm like, yeah, not gonna watch that one.
Anyway, this is not what we're talking about. We're talking about Neon Genesis Evangelion, a show that came out in '95.
Correct.
Like near and dear to our hearts. It's been many years since I've seen it, so I probably really can't describe what happened that much. But but watching watching the movies made me want to rewatch that series as a good refresher.
Yeah, I had the same kind of feeling, even though I think Netflix redubbed it. So I've heard the redub is good, but the irony is that the movie cast is from the original dubbing. So like Spike Spencer is Shinji to me, and he always has been, because I don't think the dub is that cringy, honestly. Or it's, the right levels of whiny cringe, Shinji being a bitch. So like it's just, it sounds right to me. I haven't given the Netflix for a chance yet.
Oh wow. I'll eventually, but this is basically this left a huge impact in the culture of the. Yeah, we'll get to that later.
What? It was a topical word. It was a good word. It's
know.
Like Pee-wee's Playhouse. Like, wow, you said the word. The chairs talk, the alligator ships out, like whatever happened.
Yeah, but no. Again, very popular, influenced a lot of shows. Like, what you call it? Argento Soma, Generator Gold, Die Guard, Koi Koi 7, Steven Universe, Rick and Morty. Hell, fucking My Little Pony.
I mean, there's even other older, like Razafon. Razafon
Yeah.
was basically always called Evangelion, just watered down, or like Evangelion for girls. Like, the old early 2000s kind of way of referring to things.
Yeah.
Big O. Big O takes a couple.
Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gurren Lagann, definitely.
Serial Experiments Lane, which I still have to watch.
God, I haven't watched that in so long. I thought you were
Yeah,
going to say...
it came up as a recommendation after Wonder Egg Priority. Before I got disappointed by.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Oh god, I already yelled at that for about an hour. I can't do that again.
I remember that episode. Yes.
Oh god, that's terrible. I was so upset with I was fully erect and then with flaccid. It was never the same.
Yeah, that's never good, man.
Mm-mm-mm. Not even Blue Shoe can help.
I mean, it might. It might. Maybe if it had one of those like Viagra like rebounds where it's like that 4 hours, then you have to call a doctor. Maybe it's like 4 hours, then just watch Wonder Egg. Then you'll be fine.
Oh god, I don't even want to picture that, but anyway, we said we were talking about Evangelion a little bit before the movies, but again, it's a big cultural thing. Especially the genres, like especially mechs. Stories, characters, like popular Asuka is the more well-known tsundere next to Taiga.
Yeah, and Rin from Fate Stay Night.
Yeah.
Like Rin Tosaka, Asuka Langley, and Taiga. Yeah, they're probably the top 3 tsunderes.
Yeah. Well, I like Kaguya from Love is War. She counts.
Sure, but she doesn't quite have the same history that these others do.
No. But I'm saying for a current timeline, she's like taking that torch. But the classics, these are it. I still have to watch tour.
That's not bad.
I know. My friend loves it. Like he loves it to death, and he keeps telling me to watch it. So I'm gonna tell you know what?
My take is it's not as good as Clanad, but it's pretty damn good.
Oh, I love Clanad.
And it's like I think I like Toradora way more than Angel Beats too. So I don't know if you watched Angel Beats at all, but Toradora
I did.
Out of the water.
I did enjoy it.
I was a little more lukewarm on Angel Beats, so that's why I would say like Toradora. I like that better.
Well, eventually I'll watch it because I said I would finish Fruits Baskets before I pick up anything else.
Fair.
Because I want to finish that before the end of the year to see if it'll go in my awards for the year, the last season. But anyway, eventually, a few weeks ago, they released the 4th Evangelion movie, and since he told me about it, I was like, you know what, we're gonna, instead of writing about it or him writing about it, like, you know what, come to the show. We'll talk about all of it together.
Yes.
And here we are.
There we go. Yeah. So let me frame it this way. How long ago has it been since you watched Neon Genesis? Because I doubt you watched it like right away. So like, did you give it a couple years? Did you borrow some of these VHSs?
I would probably be when I was like 15, 16, so like about 15 years.
Okay. So
yeah,
I think it's roughly the same because I think I watched it in the end of high school because I actually borrowed my buddy's VHS tapes, and then I love that. I love that anime so much.
Right.
Like early internet, like I was on a message board that was totally fan devoted to Evangelion called AvaMade. And everything was cool because you got to see like the beginning where people would leak the Japanese stuff from like the Shinji Ikari Raising projects and some of the offshoot games that didn't make it over to the States, and like Girlfriend of Steel and stuff like that. So it was really cool, just the message board interactions and watching everybody kind of just geek out over the same thing.
Right.
So Ava was definitely kind of influential in kind of getting me involved in at least the internet kind of aspects of the community. And of course fanfic.net, like who doesn't love and hate fan?
Now we got the Dojins mug.
Oh, that's the new one? Oh, I kind of fell out of how the fanfic generation went.
Yeah, especially for Love is War.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but usually I don't read doujins or hentai or any of that. But I was like,
Oh no, fanfic was written, so at least it wasn't the visual
yeah,
doujins that I think that I know what you're talking about now.
yeah.
It was just a bunch of cringy people kind of putting their OTP and their original character in with their favorite character
and then
making
their
the
odd
story.
ship-ins.
Of course, that's OTP.
Weird fetishes.
Damn right, like Pen Asuka all the way, because Pen was actually just God embodied in a penguin. You think I'm joking, but there was.
I instantly believe you. I don't even need to look. I just believe you. I don't need anything else. But anyway, this is more of a rebuild of the Evangelion series, more or less, for different telling of a story. And yeah, this was from basically 2007 to now. So yeah, about 14 years for four of these movies.
About as old as the pilots were when the whole concept started is as long as it's been since 1 and 4 came out. At least in this. Yeah, between the Japanese release and what just happened, because
they even said 14 years since that last gap.
God, we could have had a whole new pilot in that time. I mean, technically we did. There we go. That's a way to look at it.
More or less, yeah.
All right, so
let's get to the meat of the matter.
Yeah, as I said, let's get to the meat of it. Where to kind of start in reverse a little bit. That the good thing about the rebuild, the good thing about the rebuilds is the fourth movie did prove to us that the rebuilds technically follow the Neon Genesis Evangelion storyline.
Right.
Because at the end, when Shinji and Rei were talking, you saw it go through the old intros for Neon Genesis 1.0,
Right.
2.3.0, 3.0 plus 1.01, and that kind of tells you the storyline that they're trying to get across. And to then go to the beginning made a lot of sense, because after Third Impact happened in Neon Genesis, the water was no longer blue, it was red. And in the first movie, the water was red to begin with. And blue water was like some kind of weird myth that the kids never grew up with.
Basically, yeah.
So I like the fact that it kind of handheld us at the end to kind of prove where this rebuild comes in with the Neon Genesis storyline.
And how it like actually fits in.
Oh, it fits in so wonderfully, because it hits so many of the old marks with a little bit of a twist here or there, from, Unit 1 going berserk. Like, even people that don't know Evangelion still know the big purple robot going crazy, like attacking stuff and, doing his wonderful MMA attack. And then I think in Neon Genesis, Unit 1 was the one that went a little berserk in the hangar, but this time it was Rei's Unit 0, which then you got to see a little bit of Gendo getting humanized when he cared and ran to the pod to try to save Rei.
Yeah, like what actually, like you saw what he was actually like feeling, type of thing.
Correct. So like this was an interesting rebuild for the fact that it gave Gendo oddly human beats, because if you remember Neon Genesis, everybody hated Gendo. Gendo was like the worst dad, and he was just such a prick, and he's just such a dirty bastard that he was just completely beyond, I guess, reprieve. And this rebuild really helped to kind of get across the fact that Gendo wasn't much different than Shinji. Gendo just had his own approach, and Gendo really just had one wish, kind of, when it all came down to it. Yeah, and it's kind of sweet and selfish, but sweet at the same time. So I don't know.
He just went about it the wrong way, because again, it was the only person he really ever cared about.
The wrong way, though?
I mean, with how
everything ended.
So
is he the best dad, or is he the worst dad?
I throw away my humanity, Shinji!
But is he the best dad, or is he the worst dad? Because if you see, everything ended, the way it ended, did not give the whole finish.
I know.
Just yet. But like, that puts a different light on Gendo, because everybody's like, he's such a bitch. Like he set this whole thing up, like, the Ayanamis and the Shikanamis, which is Asuka's new last name, which makes some more sense now as all the movies came out. And like, Shinji had a part to play, and he was just this gigantic chess game of just making sure that these impacts happened and he could get to one thing, and everybody could end happy in a way.
Right.
It's like,
I really can't. I can't. I really don't know how to explain it.
it's twisted, but like Gendo was it's kind of like what Toji's sister said in the fourth movie, where Shinji was both their savior and their destroyer all in
Right.
one. Gendo is very similar.
Yeah, they like father like son, I guess.
Uh-huh. And that was really a big thing that I noticed through all four of the movies is they really pushed the Gendo Shinji kind of parallel where, Shinji kind of wanted to get to know his dad. His dad pushed back a little bit. And then when they had their moments, you saw similarities. Gendo even admitted to a similarity between the two of them at different points.
Right.
And the whole Ray thing from when Unit Zero goes crazy, then when Ray tries to protect him after the Sixth Angel debacle, if we want to call it that, then Ray is in the pod again, and Shinji runs over to her plug
And
and
then
tries to pull
takes
her
it
out the
out the
same
same
way.
way.
Exactly the same. So it's like it really was heavy-handing the whole Gendo and Shinji way more alike than we want to believe them.
Yeah, and they did this. They've done this perfectly to actually make us see that.
Did you like the fact that Toji was no longer the random sacrifice pilot?
Uh yeah, but yeah, this did work. Misato, yeah, but it was like, come on, no.
No, not the Masato one. Remember how in the series Toji was supposed to be the fourth angel or the fourth Eva pilot, and then that's when the Eva went berserk or what got possessed by the angel, and then he died. But it was
Okay.
Asuka that piloted that one.
Oh, okay. Wrong
So they
one. Yeah.
actually they kept Toji completely.
That yeah, I guess that made more sense in terms of Asuka and Shinji in a way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
So I feel like that does fit more.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah. This is one of the things I would say. Yeah, they did that better. Instead of just a random Toji, you got Asuka.
Yeah, and logically it did make sense that the European leg shut down Unit 2 because they had the rights to say when the Japanese branch could use it or not, and they said not to. So Asuka
Yeah,
was kind of left without an option.
you got
So
no options here.
exactly. So it was kind of cool the fact that they brought that whole thing around. How did you like the personality shifts? Because now we're moving into the second movie, and I love the fact that the movie was called You Cannot Advance, because it
Right.
seems like every child or every person, because even Masato comes into play with this one, every time they had some kind of character growth, something happened to just stagnate it, stifle it, and have them go way back to the beginning.
Right.
Like Ray and Shinji started getting affectionate. Ray tried to learn how to cook, and then the angel attack happened.
Yeah, and
Asuka got a
then
little affectionate and jealous, and then the angel attack happened after she confides in Masato about kind of being okay with her place in life and being alone and yada yada yada. And then that whole thing happens, which kind of we see in the next couple movies that it changes her personality a bit. And Shinji went from just not wanting to pilot things to then being just on autopilot. Then he just wants to protect Ray, which then screwed over Asuka, which
yeah,
that was kind of an interesting way of kind of Asuka feeling jilted, that it proved that Shinji liked Ray way more than her, and Misato trying to push away from Kaji and do what her father wanted for the whole nerve thing, and then with everything that happened, she just ends up kind of back in Kaji's arms at the end and kind of falling into the same trap that her father did with the whole, nerve and second impact issue.
right. But no, I get there's more of I understand like how they do get these developments, but go back because except for Ayanami, like Shinji and Asuka, they're kids.
Hmm.
They're definitely kids. And we all know Shinji was a whiny pussy little bitch.
True.
We all know and love him.
Yeah, Spike Spencer did a good job, man.
Oh god, like I just cannot picture anyone else voicing him. It had the right tone with how he would act, especially with how he was feeling.
Did you find anything interesting? Try to stay within the confines of the second movie. Don't take from information from 3 and 4. But did you find it interesting how informed Asuka and Mari were when they get introduced, and how they just knew everyone and everything, and Mari even knew the sub command to get Unit 2 to go beast mode?
Yeah, that was definitely different in the fact with that. I guess they thought it was more fitting to do it that way. So
I could see it. I definitely thought it was weird that Asuka knew that Rey was just nothing more than a pet or a doll
basically,
from the first time. Like there was no awkwardness, there was no
or
thinking she was a kid.
or like no looking into her info or finding out from other people.
Correct.
Just assumed like
it's
fuck
just
you.
oh yeah, you're Gendo's kid and you're the pet, you're this. It's like wow. It's like okay, Asuka. How much research did you do? Shit.
Yeah. Well, she was from from a different division, so she probably did some background checks.
She was from a different anime, apparently. She was from like the Jackie Chan Adventures because Uncle made her do some research.
Yeah.
She knew everything. Like, holy shit.
I guess she wanted to be very thorough with where she was going to go next.
I suppose.
But man, don't all these angles feel weird to you?
I mean, they did, but I love how the second movie was because I feel like it was complete in the fact that you kind of saw resolutions and we saw the beginning of Third Impact at the end of the movie.
Right.
And it's like that's kind of where we left off before Instrumentality and Neon Genesis. So it's like it still felt very familiar and it still was really cool and it was nice seeing all of the characters come into play and how their personalities changed. But God, that third movie. Holy shit.
Well, we'll get to that in a bit. Did you see the after credit of the second one?
Maybe. Which one was that one?
Where it takes place like after like the Third Impact, you see the spear go through Unit 1, like death from above type of thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say that was there. I'm not crazy.
No, you weren't, because then that kind of is part of what played into 3 with where kind of some of the spears. Yeah, where some of the spears came from. But did you have anything you took from the second one that we haven't talked about yet, or even the first, if you want to go back to like the part that was really more or less the retelling of the Neon Genesis story with a couple tweaks?
Yeah, again, it was a nice retelling. It was a good refresher. That's all I really saw what the first movie was.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. Like that, I think that was the right move to do it for the first one before I get into making bigger tweaks for the rest.
Big tweak, Jesus Christ! This is a whole ass like Vince Russo level of swerve. Like they just wrote a different script, different. They just wrote the script in a different language. They're just like, and now it's French. It's like, what the fuck happened here? Like, this is not. We start off with some kind of like space battleship Yamato kind of fucking thing, and I'm just like, it was cool. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, what am I even watching? And then like, Misato
is a captain of a ship.
Oh yeah,
and they all said fuck Gendo. He's on his own.
Yeah, like
Ray's gone, or Ayanami.
Mm-hmm. Ray's apparently gone. Shinji randomly came out of the first time I watched this a couple years ago. I wasn't sure if he came out of the cross-shaped box thing that Mari and Asuka were fighting in the beginning,
right?
Or if he came directly out of Unit 1. And I'm just like, oh, so he came out of Unit 1, which they were using as an engine. So that's kind of awkward. Out of nowhere, it's like, and now there's a kid. It's like, okay, that's different. How come did he just appear out of the LCL?
Yep. And then Asuka wanted to kill him, basically.
Which I get that. She was.
It's like so.
Over 14 years.
It's like, hey, I kind of crushed you. No hard feelings, right?
Yeah. Like
and then it's just Ray kind of not Ayanami anymore. Technically, this like in this Shinji, how Shinji find out that basically Ayanami was the clone of the mother. This traumatizing Shinji
over a game of shogi.
Yes,
like that was
nonetheless.
Fuyutsuki is a clever motherfucker. Of all things, like the one time he actually gets like really like genuine screen time, he's just like, "Do you know shogi?" And he's like, "Guess what? This is what your mom looked like. Your dad lied about not having pictures, and she looks like Ray, right? Ray's a clone. Fuck you." And it's like, what the fuck? There's
multiple of them. So I do wish there was more again. There was more Kaoru.
Kaoru was nice. But you know what I loved in a weird, twisted way with Kaoru and Shinji's interaction? It reminded me of during Neon Genesis when Asuka and Shinji basically had to play DDR and learn how to get synchronized in a dance because they had to
Right.
defeat an angel in tandem.
Right.
And this was similar because Kaoru was teaching him how to play the piano so they could work together.
Yeah. I
Like
gotta say
Pacific
that
Rim Evangelion.
that whole scene was just gorgeous, animated.
Oh yeah, animation-wise, it was gorgeous, but just the kind of slight callback to
Yeah.
the tandem dance in Neon Genesis, and this is more like Pacific Rim Kaiju double pilot plug, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool, kind of like that.
Right.
But yeah, Kaoru didn't get nearly enough screen time in the third one.
I really wish there was more, but the times he was there, I will say, yeah, I did enjoy him. That's why I wanted more.
Agreed. I kind of did like the fact that I feel like the third movie was supposed to be disjointed and confusing for not only Shinji but like the watcher because everything moved so quickly and you went from space fight to Shinji's back to Toji's sister's okay and she's there and now Ayanami's not Ayanami and the boom boom it just moved so fast that it was really hard to wrap your head around what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
And then when Kaoru shows him the near third impact and how then they start throwing out those Lilin kind of names of like the child of Lilith and the child of Adam and they really steered into like the biblical aspect of like
Right.
the seed of knowledge, the seed of life, and it was interesting because they didn't really lay it on that heavily in Neon Genesis. Like it was obvious they were angels, there was an Adam, there was Lilith, that whole kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they didn't give the spawn a name like Lilin, and it didn't turn into like an insult like Asuka kind of used it as a few times.
Right.
So it was really, as much as I think the third one is the weakest movie, it was fun for the way it set up the fourth.
Right. Like while it wasn't great, it was still important.
Correct. And it's something I noticed in the first couple, and the third movie kind of confirms it. I don't know if you noticed it. Did you notice on Shinji's Walkman, or Gendo's Walkman, however you want to really refer to it?
Right.
The first movie and halfway through the second movie, it kept toggling between song 25 and 26.
Yeah, I did see there was like a kind of like a repeat type of thing. Yeah.
And then halfway through, it goes to 27. And then after Kaoru fixes it in this movie, it goes to 28. Because there were 26 episodes in Neon Genesis Evangelion. Right. 25 and 26 were the instrumentality kind of stuff. So I took that kind of as the little hint that this is continuing the storyline, even before we got to the end, kind of proving that. So halfway through movie 2 is episode 27. Movie 3 is episode 28.
Right. Okay.
And yes, there is 29 in the.
Yeah, I didn't see the 28, but again, I did see the little skip type of thing. Okay, that's clever.
Yeah, I thought that was like a really cool, just like little Easter egg they threw in there for the Walkman.
No, I like that actually.
Plus, growing up in the early and growing up in the 90s, like I wonder what kind of Walkman he had that it had a digital readout and B 30 songs worth of space. Like, what the fuck was that, man?
I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure there's an 80-minute limit on these CDs.
Yeah, these are the shortest songs in the world.
Or like, there's no way you're gonna fit that many songs in an 80-minute CD.
Jeez.
The fuck out of here.
That was my only real question. Like, I like the Easter egg, but I'm like, I was alive during the 90s when Walkmans were kind of a thing, and then you had the CD version. I'm like, I don't remember there ever being space for like 30 songs.
I was like, I had to burn like 4 CDs for the stuff I wanted. So
exactly. And the fact that you only had 2 sides of a cassette, that's even less space than a CD's. It's like,
right.
How short are these songs? I need to know.
Or they probably I don't know.
The magic of Japanese, engineering and science made the best cassette ever.
Japan had all the cool shit, so.
Yes, that's what it was. They were just ahead of us. The Panasonic Sony Special Edition cassette could actually hold 120 minutes worth of songs. We just didn't have it over here.
And it's like, hey, can we have that? It's like, no, why? It's like, you know what you did. You know what
what you did. Jeez. It's like, hey, you know what you did? You did worse off. It's
like, all right, that's on me. I set the bar too high. But goddamn, poor Shinji being traumatized with the head exploding.
Oh yeah, the way
right in front of him.
I don't understand how he was still so blind to the fact that Kaoru told him not to do it. Something's not right. Asuka said don't. Misato said
and they were fighting. That's why they were fighting.
Yes. Everybody except Gendo and Ayanami, because she was programmed to listen to orders, said not to do it. And Shinji's like, fuck it, I'm gonna fix everything.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, it's like there's a reason why this movie is called You Cannot Redo, because you fucked up.
Oh, well, they're not Subaru, so he could redo.
Hey, that's a difference.
I know.
But so it was, plus at least you know what going into the fourth movie, it's cool that I understand now why they referred to that as near third impact.
Right.
Because I was so utterly confused at why it was N3I until we found out that Kaji sacrificed himself to stop the third impact, and that as long as there's a sacrifice, the impact will stop.
Right.
So I guess that's also why fourth impact wasn't caused by Shinji pulling out the spears, because then Kaoru died.
Yeah, more or less, yeah. I think he knew that.
I think Kaoru knew that, because he's just like, the first angel becomes the 13th angel. Ah, shit, blow me up.
Like, lol, want to see a cool trick?
Yeah. Blow me up, fam. Boom. Oh. There's red everywhere. This must be how Kurt Cobain felt. What, too soon?
No.
Against him or something like that.
Well, yeah.
It's topical. It's topical. That's how I look.
So the baby killed Kurt Cobain is what you're saying.
Shinji was the baby, and that's why he killed Kaoru.
And that's why he fucking cried.
Damn right. Yes, that's why he just wasn't the same for, I don't know, half of
Ever.
the first movie.
It's been 30 years. You have to let me go.
Yeah, never. All because you to my art show. What? I don't know. Muffin button? Wait.
It's like Benoit going, why didn't you tap out? If you did, we'd be together.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're falling off the rail.
No. This is all topical. It's Evangelion. Anything off the rails is on the rails. It's Eva.
At least it's not Eureka 7.
My God, Eureka 7. Holy shit.
Oh God, my brother hated it.
It depends on which version he saw, because I think the Fox version was like edited and ridiculous, if I remember correctly.
Well, no, he saw it on Adult Swim.
Oh, okay, because I know
he hated how everyone was fucking crying every episode.
Yeah,
it's like if someone had a hug or said hello, they would be traumatized.
It's serious business. You don't understand Japan, man.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, you're right, but shut up.
But yeah, the third movie was great, and I appreciate it for what it set up. But watching that, it is probably the only movie that doesn't really stand alone.
Right.
Like, it's the only one that needs the fourth movie.
Otherwise, it would have been very anticlimactic with it.
True.
It's like, is this how we end it? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, what?
People will be throwing pitchforks and all that.
I don't know. Being in the Evangelion fandom as long as I have, I'm pretty sure there would still be plenty of people trying to like overanalyze and like deep dive into everything and find out why it's actually the perfect ending if that was actually the last one.
Oh, that's every fandom.
But Evangelion's way more pretentious.
Well,
Evangelion is that whole elitist, well, you're not smart enough to understand the depression and the psychoanalyzation that goes on in all of these children. I am, though.
It's like, well, because of this, I got depressed, so...
Yeah. Well, why did the world blow up? Why has this happened? He was sad. Oh, how profound. Thank you.
It's like he just wanted a hug. Teenagers, mind you.
But because Gendo put up his AT field, no one could have a hug, and that's why the world blew up. Sadly, that is kind of how the whole show ends.
Almost spat my drink.
Good, that was my intent.
God damn it. Also, no, I had to give the whole movie a 0 out of 10. I didn't get my congratulations scene.
I'm so happy we didn't get that meme.
No, it was a
congratulations.
No, I won. We played it for our friend after he got laid. No, really, he had sex at a cuddle party at the last RodyCon, and we all did the whole congratulations like that.
That's that's fantastic. That's a wonderful use of meme, because that was obviously a meme before the word was even invented. Because yes, I could tell you from early 2000s fandom, everybody hated that and used that purely to troll somebody. Like if they made the most obvious observation about anything, people would just like pull up the GIF or some kind of clip of congratulations. Yeah, you fit. Good job. Aren't you proud? Good job. Yeah, congratulations.
Oh God, I wonder if someone played that during Trump or Biden's presidency.
Oh, Jesus Christ! This is the darkest timeline. It doesn't even matter which one.
For both. Yeah. I was like, I fucking hate it here.
We need a third. Or I'll even take a near third impact. I'll be the sacrifice. Just let me die. God damn it!
Don't blow your head up in front of me. I don't think I can take it.
Fair enough.
But yeah. But before we talk about the movie, I was gonna say they love their fucking tits and ass.
Oh, of course they do. And
like, oh my God, they're very like you knew in the original, but
well, let me just put it this way: at least Shinji wasn't jerking off over top of Asuka's body anymore. He's grown up. He's evolved. No, we're not using that as a sign of evolution.
It's okay now. He jerked off to his clone mother.
No, better, because then we've got the new pilot who we didn't even really talk about, and she's the best goddamn thing about this movie. Mari Makanami Illustrious.
Right. Oh my God.
Just the way she describes herself too, when she just kind of pops in to see Shinji, and she's like, "Guess who?" And he's like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Let me give you a hint: glasses, big boobs, brown hair." It's just
she was a treat. My God.
It's like not only does she fall into that Magane kind of trope that everybody loves in anime, but her personality was just so different.
It was very noticeable.
Asuka that it was nice. Like she was the most normal as
for someone her age.
As stretched and fucked up as that sentence is about somebody being normal in the Evangelion kind of world. She was calm yet intuitive. She was like always on top of the fight without being aggro like Asuka. And she kept it fun. She kept it light. She kept it fluid. Singing her little fucking songs and all that other stuff.
And she had her own motives. Like, oh yeah, they think they're using me, but I'm using them with all this. So.
Oh, that was the best line that she had. Where I forget, was it
self-destruction? I think it was when the self-destruction.
Was it Ritsuko or was it Kaji that said something about I feel dirty using children to for adults
I think it was Kaji, and there's like
I think it was Kaji.
Yeah. There's like, and then she said I hate using adults.
Yeah, so then she just reverses it, and it's like, wow, okay. Like she's just like, I just want to blow shit up, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah, just don't blow me up inside. Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah. Anyway, again, it's just every angle. Like it's more noticeable than a harem rom-com.
But it's good because it wasn't a harem, even though all of the girls had an interest in Shinji to some degree.
Well, but yeah, like what'd you call it? Misato was like a mother figure.
A little more than that.
I know, but like she was like I don't know, but
I mean, if we want to go back to end of Evangelion when they kissed, and then Kaji even poked fun at her, and Ritsuko poked fun at her about how when Shinji started living with her, and then she's just like, well, you lived with a man before, and she's like, this is different, and Ritsuko's like, is it? And Misato's just like, shut the fuck. It's like, and they were, they were oddly close. They always have been. So it's one of those interesting things where Misato was like the hot teacher from like a rom-com kind of anime where you're just
she's technically a MILF, so.
Now, well, yeah, as we got to the second half of these, yes. But it's nice. It was nice because all of the women had different reasons to be drawn to Shinji, but not like just lording over him and lusting
Or
over
like pinning him down, say, hey.
Yeah, even though I did get a little annoyed at like 80% of Asuka's shots were just like her in panties just rolling back and forth on
Hey,
a bed.
while in a t-shirt.
Yeah, and I'm just like, at some point, I'm just like, A, she has to put clothes on, and B, is this just budget constraint? Like, just wanted to use the same thing of her playing her little whatever it was, like
Game Boy.
DS or Game Boy of some sort, and just
Yeah.
rolling around half naked.
They're like we're giving those angles to Mari while
Exactly.
while Ainami just had the boobs.
Yeah, well, she also had that whole wonderful mannequin, like the Million Mannequin March towards the end.
Oh God. Let's get to that.
Yeah.
But I liked how it started with Mari getting her own fights while Shinji, Asuka, Ainami just go to this village while Shinji sulks like normal. A typical Friday for Shinji Ikari.
Yes, basically.
But I liked how Ainami was getting along with the village, the older woman type of thing. He's like, like you don't need orders. Let Granny slap some ass and tell you how to work.
Yeah, it was definitely that weird slice of life kind of aspect, but I don't know. Like, I always felt odd about that with how clueless that, original batch was, because Miss Lookalike or whatever you want to refer to her as. But
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Because
I found you, faker.
It was endearing, I suppose, but it was a little taxing. That's probably the nicest way I could put it, where she just asked questions about everything, and it wasn't until she learned enough and she started using it towards Shinji and Asuka that it started hitting a little different.
Yeah, and then eventually, first it was like she kind of did like shut down for like a moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where she thought about staying, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, you don't.
Yep, and then it's like, oh well, I guess there's a malfunction. You can't live outside of Nerve. Oh, great, all right. So
and there's like, hey Shinji, we need to talk. What? Want to see a magic trick?
Boom.
Yeah, I'm not the real Ainami. Like, I can't be here. But anyway, goodbye.
Mm-hmm. And I love how that was what it caused for Shinji to just kind of be like, you know what, fuck it, we're ending this. Like, I'm sick of watching people die in front of me.
Yeah.
But tell me the cold, calculated yup and then taser gun from Asuka wasn't fantastic, right?
Oh my God. Yes.
It's like she just knew, and she's just like, I'm gonna help too. And Asuka's like, yup, I have to do this. It's like, what the fuck?
You're coming with me.
that was cool. And it was also nice to see Toji and Kensuke made it out okay, and Hikari and Toji, they shipped them together like everybody in the old fandom one.
Right.
Because
and they actually got it.
Yeah. So there was a little bit of, I guess, fan service to the old Neon Genesis fans, and Kensuke kind of being interesting, I suppose, because I always thought it was weird when Asuka and Kensuke first interacted after, the 14 years passed, and she was calling him Ken. I'm just like, that's not an Asuka line. That's very affectionate and very cutesy. So
yeah.
The fuck happened here?
pretty much, yeah. But anyway, I gotta say, I love every time Shinji and Gendo were on screen together after the whole confrontation.
Oh yeah, and that fight was cool too.
And they're like, you're not stopping us by fighting. That's when they did like, you're right. That's why they did the whole talk. And I loved the talks. Like, I loved.
It was really cool though to watch them fight in like different spots, like Misato's apartment, and then like the school,
right?
And just
and then the village, yeah.
Randomly, just like, none of this is real, so we can do whatever the fuck we want. And it's like, oh, cool! I'm gonna fight in the bathtub. It's like, what the fuck is going on here?
I was like, well, let's you've been a dirty boy, so let's clean you up.
Exactly. So yeah, but the talk was really nice. Like, it was really interesting. And it was cool because we finally learned
that human side of...
Well, the human side of Gendo and who Mari was, too.
Right.
Like, the fact that Mari finally made sense, and it all happened within, like, the last 20 minutes of the last movie.
Very much, yeah.
Like, and it didn't feel rushed. It felt right. Where, she approaches Fuyutsuki during the last fight, calls him Professor. He refers to her by an older name, calling her Mari Iscariot. And then we see when Gendo's going through his little flashbacks of school life with Yui and Fuyutsuki, Mari was there. And Mari's the one fucking with him, taking the headphones off and poking at him and having fun. So Mari somehow was like the original cursed Ava child, or maybe an insurance policy kind of
I
set for
guess.
Yui. Because maybe that's why she was referred to as Iscariot, because maybe Yui knew something wasn't going to work out right. So it was Mari's job just to kind of make sure the pieces fell into place, playing the Judas to Gendo's, God complex, Jesus complex, whatever you want to call it.
Right. But I gotta say, that Yui head was fucking creepy.
Oh, you mean the real one where they weren't even animating it anymore and it was live action?
Yeah, that. I was like, I felt so uncomfortable.
Like, that was definitely way more uncomfortable than the first time we saw them do the Ray heads and stuff like that. Just like, it's creepy. And I loved how the little the pink-haired girl on the ship said like exactly what everybody was thinking during that point too, where she's like, what the hell is this? This is nuts.
Yeah, I was like, this is on purpose.
Like, yeah, Jesus Christ. Ugh. That's crazy.
Yeah,
and then, again, it comes back to what we were talking about in the beginning. Is Gendo the worst father, or is he the best father?
That's such a tricky question.
Because he may have gone about it in fucked up ways, but he ended up going with his wife, and Shinji got his wish to live in a world with no Evangelions and grow up, and Rei was happy, Asuka's happy with Kensuke, and Mari is happy with Shinji, and they run off, up the steps and into reality together. So Gendo won. Gendo achieved what he wanted to.
Yeah, and more or less, yeah.
So, and it ended up really good for everybody.
Yeah. Hey, Shinji got best girl as his goddamn.
And it was nice to also just watch Shinji grow up in the last 30, 40 minutes of the movie too.
Yeah, actually sounding like an adult type of thing.
Even Asuka had to admit it. That was the best part during Little Interrogation, where she's just like, do you know why I tried to hit you? And he's just like, because I did nothing. He's like, I didn't try to save you. I didn't try to hurt you. I just froze. And I was useless. And she's just like, oh, wow, you did learn something.
And then Shinji was like, well, bye. Hey, not seeing you again.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, hey, sorry for doing nothing. Bye.
Mm-hmm. But she got ejected, so she's happy with Kensuke. We didn't see it really, but it was implied.
But it was, and then, I think it was that Ainami and
Kaoru were talking on the other side of the train platform.
Yeah, like the clones or whatever.
Yeah, the interesting children. Let's just put it that way.
Pretty much.
Because, you would have to think Rei's her own person in that version of Shinji's world.
Yeah.
Because Yui and Gendo sacrificed themselves together by impaling themselves on the spear.
And they don't exist in that world.
Correct. And neither do Evangelion. So Rei must actually be her own person. And maybe Kaoru's not an angel because there's no Evas.
Yeah, he's also his own person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really is an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, but as a longtime fan of the series and everything, it was nice to watch a happy end. Not just an implicit happy ending, not a goofy one like at the end of Genesis.
We got actual closure.
Yeah, it felt like real closure, and the fact that Mari is a connection back to Gendo and Yui without having to be a clone or some weird twisted kind of thing, and it's just that she was friends with them and now she's with Shinji. It brings it all full circle that somehow Gendo and Yui are still kind of looking out for Shinji in this new world that he created.
With how all these movies came out, how they were set up, would you do this with extra stuff as a rebooted series to have it more fleshed out?
I don't really think you need to do anything else with it. This tied it up in a bow pretty nicely.
I bet if they somehow decided to do hey, we're gonna remake the series type of thing, would you do this type of plot but more fleshed out in the span of 26 episodes?
I don't know. I don't see the need.
Or was this, it got the right amount of timeline for all 4 movies?
I think everything was fine. Like I said with 3 is awkward, but it's better as a movie than it would be as multiple episodes that you have to sit through. Because could you imagine 3 being a 90-minute movie, or if it's 5 episodes in the middle of a 26 episode series.
Right.
Like that could be enough to confuse somebody and just get them to stop watching. Because it's a lot harder to sit through 5 episodes than it is 4 movies. Because you know that movie 1 and movie 4 tie up the story. So like you need to get from point A to point B. So even if the third movie is a little weird, you have faith that the fourth movie is going to fix it.
Right.
You can't really always say that about a series. So if you had to sit there weekly, like if it was a seasonal, and you had to go, oh, well, episode 17 through 22 make absolutely no sense, but fuck, they're cool. Like, it's like, would you really stick around doing it?
Yeah, I can see what you mean, actually. Again, that's a good point.
So yeah, I think Evangelion's going to continue on with their spin-off games, because there's been games for days. Like Shinji's got, like I said, the Girlfriend of Steel games, other dating games. I think there's 1 or 2 where he's a detective. There's 1 or 2 that take place in like an alternate like school reality where they also introduce different girls. Like I think Girlfriend of Steel had Mana, if I remember correctly, and so. And Ava's never going to die as a series.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's an orchestra somewhere.
So I think we're fine. I mean, it doesn't need to be another series. It doesn't need to be another movie. I think the cinematic universe, however you want to call it, is wrapped up nicely. And now whatever they do, if they want to maybe do a prequel with like Mari, Gendo, and Yui years or something like that.
That would be interesting.
That could be interesting. I'd like that more as like a short, like maybe half-hour movie, like if they did like a whole box set of 1, 2, 3, and 4. Give us like a little bit of Mari backstory, a little more. I'd be cool with that, but I don't really think we need much else. I think this did a really good job coming full circle with nearly 30 years of fandom.
More or less, yeah. That's almost 30 years.
So yeah, it definitely did a really, really good job. So all 4 movies on a whole, the way it retold, the way it built, and the way it ended, it's for really, really good closure. It psychologically, it's smart. Battle wise, it was cool. Story wise, it's compelling. Like you can kind of relate to at least one of the characters. What I mean?
And it was good seeing the characters again with some different and some changes to their actual character.
Yep. Sometimes it's a name, sometimes it's a personality quirk, but it was nice to see how they evolved over the time as well as the viewer. So it was a cool take.
And I believe we both ranked them the same, where the best one was the second one, then second best was the latest one, then the first movie, and then the third one.
Correct, yeah. 2, 4, 1, 3.
Yeah. Which, again, that's really the best way to go back, because the second one was just great, especially with those final scenes.
Oh, yeah. And it's just like, the thing that puts 2 over the top for me, even though 4 is a nice bow on the story, 2 is its own thing. Like, you could stop watching after 1 and 2 and you can still feel like you have a complete story right there.
Right.
But 4 ties it up long term for fans of Neon Genesis and fans of the Rebuild series. So
like for the casual fan, you would stop at 2 probably.
Possibly, yeah. If you just wanted a nice retelling of Neon Genesis and didn't care about the extra stuff, 2 is fine. Like 2 tells a wonderful story, hits all the beats, things get tied up in a messy way, but it still gets tied. So it works. But 4 is good for the long-term fan who just kind of wanted to see where Anno was going with it.
And like a proper ending.
Correct. And he, for a change, didn't fuck with the kids. So like it was really just nice to see everybody get their way in a way.
I wonder if someone held them at gunpoint saying, "Don't fuck their lives up anymore."
I don't think they did.
It was like stop it right now. Stop. Do not send that.
My understanding is that after the third movie came out, one of the manga artists put in an extra panel for shits and giggles of Mari in school with Gendo and Yui.
Right.
And at the time that came out, everybody swore up and down it wasn't canon. It wasn't something he was told to do. He just did it for fun. So I wonder if Anno saw that and he's just like, I like that.
Yeah, I think that would make a lot of sense in a way. Because
I remember a lot of the early interviews where Anno was struggling with himself on how he was going to make this story different, because he didn't want to just retell the same story. So that's why Asuka's name changed and the personality quirks changed, and that's why Mari got introduced, because they really needed another pilot in there just to change up the dynamic. And then
it worked.
I think that tie into the past, be it Anno's idea or be it the random illustrator's idea, like, I think that is just a gorgeous way to tie everything up, since Mari's whole gimmick was the fact that A, she liked old things, and B, she always told everybody that she was going to be there whenever they needed her, and to not worry, and she'll come in at the end. So like she was supposed to kind of be the guardian angel in a sense.
Right.
And it was really fun. And I also like the fact that she gave Asuka and Shinji kind of cute pet names, which helped to lighten up things during like a giant battle where you're just getting your arms ripped off and murdering people, and she's calling Asuka princess and Shinji's puppy or doggy or something like that. Like it's a little off-putting, but it's just that right amount of levity to not make it so dark and depressing all the time.
Right. But yeah, whoever does want to watch this, it's all on Amazon Prime, all 4 movies. And then if you want to watch the Netflix dub, it's on Netflix.
Yup.
But I'll try to find the original somewhere, but unless I had no choice but to do.
Yeah. Don't buy it unless the price has changed, because when I checked a couple years ago, it was still like insanely priced, because I don't think it was in very high print demand at first, because something weird happened with Gynax, if I remember correctly, because Anno and Gynax had a falling out, and I think that's kind of why printing on Evangelion or Neon Genesis stopped.
Yeah, I can see. Well, what you call it? The Britt Baker figure is selling for $550 right now, so I probably have some money.
There you go. That should cover the series at least. I don't know.
I think it needs to go $100 higher to get the end of.
Oh, maybe. Yes, you're not going to get instrumentality without like at least $600. You're right. Let's just be like, I will give you 20 out of 26 for $550.
Yeah. We will see. But yeah, that is our review of Evangelion, the 4 movies. Again, we had a great time talking about it. We had a great time watching them. And I want to thank Andrew for coming on as my guest for the night. And we always have fun. We always have fun talking together. So this is nice to do it in this Talk the Keki format. So Andrew, thank you for being here with me in this.
Oh, anytime, especially if you finally get your co-host into something that happened before like 2010. Like, that'd be cool. We could probably chop it up a little more.
Soon we are looking for guests, so you're more than welcome to come anytime.
Cool.
Yeah, so
it better be older stuff.
It's probably going to be like a little bit of older stuff, questions and stuff like that. Kind of like how drive-through.
Oh, I got you.
So it'd be like Keki Shop or something.
I like that.
Yeah, so that might be like the thing, like where we have guests and then random questions and stuff like that, and talk about a little more older stuff. We're probably gonna do that around the fall. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
That's cool.
I'm waiting on my goddamn OP songs that I have to go somewhere else.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have not heard back from that guy in a month, so I'm probably.
Yeah, I was wondering what the status with that one was.
Yeah, I have not heard anything, so I'm looking on Fiverr because I heard Fiverr does shit.
That's actually a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, and someone actually said they'll do it for like $100, like a 2-minute anime. Yeah, no, that's probably a lot cheaper than what the other guy was gonna give me. So yeah, so I might just do that. I just gotta wait a month for it to be delivered. That's fine.
Yeah, no, that's worth it, definitely.
Yeah, so I was gonna have Ethan send me half of that money.
That definitely makes sense. It is your show, your 2-man show, so you think it'd go 50-50.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I was sure hoping it's $50. If not, then she needs a job.
Yes,
a better job.
True. That is very true. Like, come on, give me $10 for 5 weeks. How about that?
Yeah, like give me the money slowly till it finishes.
Yeah, exactly. It'll probably be done in about 5 weeks at $10 a week. That works, right?
Oh yeah. The guy's time frame was about 40 days. So yeah.
There we go.
More or less. It's perfect.
I gave Ethan a nice installment plan, layaway plan, whatever you want to call it. Sounds good.
We did no commercials for this, but you know what? Fuck it. It's a special. Who cares? We don't need advertisements. Yeah, but anyway, you can follow me on Twitter at DamienPhoenix12. I'm on there sometimes. I also plan on doing streaming. You can find me on Chairshot, where I was writing for Japanese wrestling, but since wrestling died, it's on a hiatus.
Wrestling died. That's nice. You just put the tombstone there. The little angel cross came up. You're like, I don't know. Third Impact hit Japan. It was called COVID, and all of it sucks now.
And all the booking went to shit. Kota Ibushi had a god complex. It didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, Kota Ibushi had the god complex. Evil's just a piece of shit. He ruined everything.
And Shingo's the only saving grace, but not enough to cover a whole show.
Not enough to cover Evil, because remember, we're recording this on the 4th, so on the 5th, Shingo and Evil face each other for the title.
I swear, if Evil wins, I'm probably gonna stop watching New Japan forever.
I will give Evil one small bit of credit, is that when he introduced Sho into the group on today's show, they had these shirts called House of Torture.
Yeah.
Okay. If House of Torture is his offshoot group, and then maybe they leave Bullet Club and become House of Torture, I don't hate that. Like,
I just want him away from Bullet Club.
I do too, because
that was a mistake.
Sad is that they're doing all the annoying, crappy shit that like Fale and the Tongans did.
And it doesn't fit Evil.
It doesn't,
especially how you seen Evil back then, where he would just go Chairshot to the throat a motherfucker on his own. Like, you don't need these people. He took down a lot big names by himself.
True. This is true. So hopefully he figures it out.
Yeah. Hopefully he does. We also want to thank W2M Network for having us on Spotify, and we want to thank the Chairshot Radio for having us on various forms where you find your local favorite podcasts like iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Audible. Andrew, your plugs.
On the Twitter, IWC War Chief, that's where you can find me, and writing on the Chairshot, where I still have to cover the Japanese wrestling and Impact Wrestling, because it's the issue with me being like one of the higher ups on the website.
The main squeeze.
I can't just be like, hey, sucks, I'm done. Oh, I have to cover it anyway? Okay. But at least, the good thing is I've also been covering album reviews of music lately, and that's actually helped to keep things moving, on a weekly basis, because I just covered Iron Maiden's new album that came out yesterday, Senjutsu, and it's just cool kind of mixing up different genres and some bands I haven't listened to in a hot minute that just happened to have a release this year.
Yeah, I actually read your Billie Eilish review too.
I don't mind Billie Eilish as much of a bad rep she gets.
It's I have to be in the mood for it, but if it's like plays so much like Nickelback, then it's annoying.
Oh well, yeah, like Bad Guy's an annoying fun song. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like her older stuff before that, like Ocean Eyes and Bellyache, like they're cute songs. And then this new album that she came out with, The Happier Than Ever, they're definitely songs to get sad to, which I suppose works for an Evangelion, themed show that we end with one. But so you're not gonna listen to the Billie Eilish album in the car driving with friends to like something fun? Nah, but if you're sad and you need something to commiserate with, that's really good. It hits a lot of good points, and lyrically, her and her brother do a good job. So I give her a lot of credit.
Yeah, because I gave my partner that CD for their birthday. So
did they like it?
I would hope so. I didn't ask, but
well, at least they didn't hate it.
It's better. Well, it's better than Megan Thee Stallion. So
a lot of things are Thee Stallion.
Yeah. That was their Christmas credit. Credit.
So saddy.
It's a white girl music to Gather Wap to Billie Eilish, but I love him.
It works.
That. Anyway, we've had our cake. We've had our Keki. We talked our Keki. We're full of Keki. So until next time, me and Eve will be here on Monday. Arigato, anata ofaku, and sayonara.